All right, guys, we're going to open up for some questions.
All righty, open up the door for questions. Great, great job.
Peter, I think before we answer questions, we should give you some congratulations for your level six.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep,
Yeah, it's
we hit
very
level 6 in
exciting.
the company. So that was good on the volume and the team that we built. Of course, we couldn't have done it without you guys. You guys are the ones that helped make it happen. I just get the credit for it. So thank you, everybody.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's true. Very true. All right, we have
First
a
asked the question is
yeah.
why is Reed the only U.S. person? Because they didn't go by, hey, are we these U.S. people or not? They said, who are the best people to do a part of this? And remember, up until recently, the U.S. has been very anti-crypto. So, of course, other countries that have been embraced it more have been, and one of those areas is Dubai, and all of these gentlemen actually domicile in, or the other four gentlemen domicile in Dubai. So it was easier to find people that have more crypto experience, more knowledge as far as that goes in the crypto space. So I would think that would be the reason why. At the end of the day, it's who has the experience to deliver on this and make it happen. Roman Rosoff, the builder of the Wise software, guys. The good thing is it's not like, hey, Kenny, or maybe he can build the best software in the world. We already know because he's done it with the best Neo software on the planet. So, a dynamite team. I am right now putting together arrangements, guys, to go to Dubai in March, where I will actually spend time with the founders, all the founders in the company. I have to tell you, so we've been looking at this, and because of Reeve Collins, so 7 years ago, maybe 6.5 years ago, we were really getting involved in it, and we began to realize that crypto Web3, so we started to tie those two together, and that Web3 was really the participatory economy and the idea of community as commerce. Doug, my business partner, watched a video on Reeve Collins and he goes, Peter, you've got to see this guy, right? He is explaining exactly what you and I have been talking about. So I pull up the video and I watch and I went, this guy understands Web3. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, 90% plus of the founders of Web3 projects do not know what Web3 is. They don't. They just see it as a business opportunity, a way for them to build personal wealth. And they got involved with it. And they're like, okay, this is what we do when we're in Web3. So very few people in Web3 actually understand Web3. But Reeve Collins is one that understands it inside out, backwards, forward, and all the way. So when we look at this, that's the reason why we initially got involved with it and said, hey, he understands it. But there were four other founders. What I didn't know is, did they actually understand Web3? Well, about 3 days ago, they proved to me that every single executive and person that works for WeFi understands Web3. They understood that you, me, if you're already in WeFi, if you're going to join WeFi, that the 300th million customer that opens up a banking account and gets involved, even if it's a free banking account and just starts to do banking, that we are the most important asset of the project. And the reason why we know that now is they said, hey, we're going to do a promotion. And those shares, that ownership side, that gift certificate that I was talking about, they said, we're going to offer for anybody new who joins 30% extra shares. Now, we didn't expect, we're like, well, hopefully they'll backdate it at least till maybe the January 1st, or maybe at least till the day because it happened they actually started doing it about a week later. And as a matter of fact, we kind of slowed down on sharing and growing this thing as fast as we were because we're like, oh, we don't want to miss the 30%. What we should have known is that these guys understand Web3. They didn't only go back to the date they announced it, they didn't go back to the first. They went back to the first share that they had given out, the first ITO units, and went and leveled everybody up to the number of shares, to the same number of ITO units that were there, guys. Absolutely didn't need to do it. If they didn't do it, I'd still be building. But what it did is it showed me that was not a decision that Reeve Collins would have made on his own. He would have sat all the other 4 founders down, all the other corporate executives. They would have sat around and said, hey, we're going to offer this as a special. Somebody at that table said, well, wait a minute. What about the rest of the people that have already been in? And in the spirit of Web3, they said, you know what? Let's do this. I can see it. Reeves hanging back going, hey, guys, what do you think? Why don't we just give it to everybody? And then all the rest of the people in that room, I'm thinking in my mind what happened, right? I wasn't there. But I'm telling you, every single one of those people in that room got excited and said, yeah, let's give it to everybody. And that's exactly what they did. That's a company. Those are founders that understand Web3. Why is that important? Because this company, I believe, will become a trillion or a multi-trillion-dollar company. Being Web3, the vast majority of that value, of that wealth, will be in the hands of the customers, the users. Not 50%, not 40%, but 70, 80, possibly 90% of all the value will be held by the customer base, by the people that are using 947th million person to open up a banking account. They're going to benefit financially from this. But here's the greatest part about it. In Web3, there's this beautiful idea that the earlier you get involved, the more value you provide to the project. Meaning when the 947 million person gets in, the company's already profitable, it's already doing really well. They create value, but not as much value. The earlier you get involved in a Web3 project, the more value you help create. So guess what? The bigger share of the wealth you get. So I was talking to Jody, and I said, Jody, what if you could take 1 million people and they could share $1 trillion? How much money would you be? And I think Jody said oh, that'd be like 100,000. No, every single one of those million people would be a millionaire. So $1 trillion is a million millions. So think about, and you go, well, yeah, but can it really create $1 trillion in wealth? Amazon today is worth over $2 trillion, guys. Remember when I showed you the report by that very, amazing, one of the top consulting companies in the world? What did they say? They said the banking industry is the most profitable industry in the world. So if you can build a retail technology company that's worth $2 trillion, then what would the largest bank in the world that's a technology company, what could that be worth? 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 5 trillion? Again, I don't know. NVIDIA, somebody who makes chips for AI cards right now, I believe is valued over 5 trillion, or it was recently valued over $5 trillion. So what's the possibility here? And then you take the team that has already done Web3 things in amazing ways, and they're sharing the vast majority of that with the community. How many people could actually build some fairly significant wealth here in with this idea and concept? Dynamite team, financing. Guys, I am telling you right now, I am 100% assured that these guys have all the money in the world to build a global banking system, banking, that benefits the members that are using it. So they have the team, they have the technology, they have the funding, and they have the community. Over 200,000 people like myself, like Sharona, like Kevin and Debbie, that are dedicated towards helping this become successful, that are sharing it out there with people like Rusty and Ryan and Sarah, Steve, we got 2 Steves, right? We got Tony, we've got Jan, we've got all these people that are out sharing it on a daily basis, growing that customer base, ensuring that we get to 1 billion customers worldwide in helping this become successful. So do we have any questions that we can answer? And then we'll go from there.
Debbie asked how can we start earning on the Visa card already?
So because it is available, in other countries, right? So we have some people down in Thailand that have already ordered the card. We have people in Costa Rica that have already ordered the card that are using it and buying it. Sharona in Canada has already ordered the card. So if somebody's ordered the card, there is a way for you to activate a digital card in your back office. And if you did that, you're getting paid on it. So we'll do that on Saturday, guys. I'm going to walk you guys through a couple things on Saturday. The WFI token, purchasing some of that. Right now, I can buy it for $2.90. So in turn, I can start pushing that forward and make that happen. So what I'm doing right now, and I'll show you guys on Saturday, I am purchasing about $10 worth of WFI tokens in my back office through WeFi every single week. Why? Because when I buy it through WeFi, they're buying it in the public market, helping drive the value of that. But we'll talk about that on Saturday, some of the additional things that you can do if you want to. Look, if you want to just get involved and get a free account, great. Let's get you signed up. And then when it opens up in your area or where you're at, you can start using the banking services. If you say, hey, I don't want to share this with anybody, all I want to do is get some ITO units. I'm going to click a button. I'm going to pay for them. I'm going to click a button, and I'm just going to sit back for 6.5 years. Hopefully Peter's right. I'm putting in $1,000. I end up with 4, 5, 6,000 WFI tokens. It's worth $50 a token. Well, heck, that's $300,000. Yay, stock goes to, who knows how much. Yay, all right, good. Now I can go on vacation or maybe retire or whatever, pay off some bills, whatever that is. Or you can say, hey, I'd like to, get an account, get some ITO units. And you know what? I think I want to be part of helping bring Web3 to the world. And then you can share it with any of those. We welcome you and thank you for getting involved and being a part of what we're doing. We're really excited to be able to. 10 years ago, when we started to work on the participatory economy and communities commerce, I got on a call and I said, guys, you know what I'd like to do? I would like to leave this world better than when I got here. And I said, the best way that I would know to be able to do that would be to tie a community, people together on a financial level. Like I benefit from them financially, they benefit from me financially. That's the journey that we started down 10 years ago. And that's the journey that we're going to stay on over the next few years. And so I believe that this is one of the puzzle pieces for us to be able to do that, is to bring Web3 to the masses and have people get involved and have participatory economy. So in the past, I've talked about, imagine if in a participatory economy, all the companies that you did business with said, you know what, if you buy my product, I'm going to give you a digital asset. Okay. And that digital asset will represent the value of the company. So the earlier you got involved. So let's say that for the next 10 years, every Christmas gift or holiday gift that you purchased for anybody was from one of these companies that was in Web3 that said you get a digital asset. So you buy grandma a little hat or something, right? And you buy, Johnny a little airplane, little, drone or something, right? And every time you're purchasing these, you're getting these digital assets. Well, grandma's going to go home and put it in the closet and never probably take it out, right? It's just going to sit. I know, because my mother-in-law had one of those closets. She since passed away, but she had a closet. We'd go over her house and we'd open it up and it'd be like 6 years of presents stacked inside the closet, right? But every time, guess what? If we would have gotten a digital asset, after 10 years, we've piled up all these digital assets in all of these companies. And when we started, maybe the company's worth a few $1,000,000, but today they're global brands, right? There's tens of millions, hundreds of millions of people buying the clothing or buying the drones or doing whatever it is. And all of these companies now went from being worth 5 or 10 million to 500 million to $1 billion. And my digital assets continue to go up. And so little Johnny's little drone that I purchased for him was $40, but I got 2 digital shares in that project through cryptocurrency. And now those digital shares are trading at $40 or $50 each. So my $40 now turned into $80 or $100. Or what if it became a juggernaut company like a Tesla And now it wasn't at 40 or 50, it was at $400 or $500 per share. And I got 2 shares on that. And now my $40 purchase with little Johnny, who probably broke it 15 minutes after, those little drones that fly around. It's like they use them for about 25 minutes and then they're broken, right? It's like, oh, well, what? That was fun, right? Or the little kid who opens up the present, takes out the present and plays with the box, right? That type of stuff. But imagine, guys, that is the way I see us moving towards this concept and this idea, especially with the way technology is going with AI, with quantum computing, robotics, the stuff that's coming along. We need the participatory economy to help alleviate some of the things that are going to switch in the future. So I believe it's a huge solution for making this place a better place, helping relieve some of the financial distress that some people might be in. 10 years ago, when we started what we were doing, we looked at it and said there's 30 million plus Americans above the age of 50 years old that have less than $25,000 in retirement savings. And I thought to myself, if we could help even just a few thousand or 10 or 20, 30,000 of those people have a $1 or $2 or $3,000 a month residual income and build wealth, that we could make a huge difference in their lives. And I believe now with the Web3 and the model that we're doing with WeFi, we could help 1 million people be better off financially on a global level. So any other questions, Sharona?
Debbie did ask, so they have to be in your team, right?
Direct is in your team, yes. But then once you hit certain levels in the company, you can actually get overrides on people that are not in your team. Won't get into too much depth there on the compensation side. Look, guys, we've seen less than 10% of what's coming with WeFi. They do understand community as commerce, which means that you can continue to expand the universe, continue to increase offerings, and continue to generate more and more income from that community base that you already have. I had a great talk. We went to California and met with some of the people that are helping grow this, with Dr. John, who was there for a movie premiere that he's doing on a positive movie. They do documentaries, positive documentaries. If any of you guys have watched Beyond the Secret, that's one of his documentaries. I think they've done 5, and they're doing a new premiere. So definitely about positiveness, but had some great conversations with him of a lot of things that are coming. They said, well, we can share some stuff with you, but you just can't share it out yet. And the reason why is, they want to get this thing launched before they really reveal a lot of the details of it, because they don't want copycats. There's already people calling themselves Dio banking. You saw in there, Reeve talked about, he coined the word Dio banking, right? It didn't exist until he said, hey, we're going to build this decentralized on-chain bank. Hey, let's call it Dio banking. Now there's other people that are out there copycatting. By the way, guys, we don't have to worry about that, because there are over 300 copycats of stable coins, including PayPal, Circle, which is a conglomerate of banks. There are major players trying to copycat Tether, and guess what? Tether's still over 50%. If you want to talk about somebody who's built something that dominates in a space, hundreds of stable coins, major players with billions, tens, hundreds of billions of dollars at access, but yet Tether still is over 50% of the stablecoin market. So if I'm like, wait a minute, we want this to be the largest bank in the world, so why not go with somebody who's already built something that is the largest in its space, right? He's already proven that he can do it. And a matter of fact, since we're shareholders, we got that ownership gift certificate coming. I'd really like for it to be a super profitable company. So has Reeve ever built a super profitable company? Well, this past year, Tether will make $15 billion in profit. Oh, imagine owning a share in that, right? That's not possible. But what is possible is owning a share in his next venture that I believe is going to be even bigger than Tether because of what they're doing and where it's headed to. And you can own a share in that through the gift strip by buying ITOs. So you can get the WFI token, you can get the share certificate, and we can all benefit and grow this together.
Excellent. I see that Ryan has his
That's
hand
good.
up. Hey,
Hey,
Ryan.
Peter. Yeah, hey, I just want to highlight just the shares. These guys are fintech, so they're going to be based off of revenue and not EBITDA. So
Yes.
they're already at a $230 million market cap according to coinmarketcap.com. So it's not going to be that difficult for them to hit a $1 billion valuation in 2, 3, 4 years. It won't be that difficult. So you're going to be looking at $80 a share because the way that the company is valued, they look at a historical analysis of their last 3 years of revenue. They project it out into the future, then they discount the future value back to the present value, and that's how you get a valuation. That's how companies are valued pre-IPO. So these guys, from my estimation, obviously they're private, so I haven't seen their financials, but they're not going to have a problem reaching $1 billion valuation.
Well, I can tell you that somebody that I talked to saw what their finances are on a computer not that long ago, and I can tell you that, and that's why earlier I was able to say for sure they have the money to do this and make this happen. By the way, guys, a lot of projects when they launch something like this will let's say that somebody buys $1,000 worth of a miner. They'll pay out a commission structure. The rest of that mining money that goes for the miner goes to buy equipment and then to run the day-to-day companies. That's not the way it works with WeFi. They are not taking the ITO money and buying and running and paying salaries and doing that stuff. That money is held for the benefit of the entire decentralized layer. They have already raised additional money through the ownership in WeFi.co, the bank company, which is paying for them to grow this bank in an amazing way. And they have some partnerships and different things that are coming that are just absolutely dynamite, right? That to roll this thing out. And again, within 90 days, this will be fully open throughout all of Europe. There's just one more document to be signed. Of course, it's government. So, if it was me signing the document, it'd be done tomorrow morning or probably already done yesterday. But it's not me. It's government. So it could take a week. It could take a couple weeks. But one of the interesting things is I said, okay, once this paper is signed, how long does it take for you guys to actually launch? I said, what, a month, couple months? He goes, no, like less than a week. He goes, all the technology in all of this is already built. It's not like, look, in 6 months we'll build this technology, or the exchange is already built. The banking system is already built. Everything they need, all they're doing now is making improvements to it, right? What's version 2.0 or 3.0 or 4.0 or 3.1175, right? So everything that is done is ready to go. They spent 4 years building this before they launched it. So this is not something where somebody sat around and said, hey, let's start something, and boom, they started it. They thought this out. They built unique and proprietary technology in KYC, in seed word distribution. So, like I said, they thought about all the problems that were preventing the masses from getting into the crypto market, into Web3. They solved all the problems, and then they said, okay, now we've solved all the problems. Now it's time to launch. And then that's when they launched WeFi. And now they've just been waiting for all the I's to get dotted and the T's to get crossed. And now they're going to go and start rolling this thing out. First Europe, and then the rest of the world will come shortly behind that, including the United States of America. And also, guys, we are targeting for Thursday to show you guys the marketing system and plan that we've put together there for that, in order to really help blow up WeFi with our the Web3 community marketing concept that we've put together. So you guys will see that. I believe Rhonda is going to share with you part of the whole plan. As I wrote a book, which is will be part of the giveaway. When people come to the course and get involved with it and stuff, they'll get a free copy. It will be on Amazon for people to order and buy and do stuff like that. We've also started a YouTube channel, which we'll start promoting here pretty soon. But maybe if you guys ask really nicely, Rhonda will share with you the cover that we've designed, and maybe she'll explain to you a little bit about the book.
So the concept of the course and the story is reclaiming that fire of where it all began. And of course, one of Peter's mantras, participatory economy. So the cover is a collection of modern day people and one caveman sitting around talking about Web3 and where it's going. And in the back, you see ghosted some of the historical people who created some amazing innovations like the steam engine and the assembly line. We've got the quintessential 1990s office worker who drove the economy for so long, the labor, the working class. And then you've got another disruptor, Mark Zuckerberg, representing that whole Web 2 wave of what used to be the future and is just our present now. It's just the thing that we're used to. And then around the fire, they're talking about where the world's going, and that's Web 3. The book is really, it's a pleasant read, and it dives in and explains things to the layman and to somebody who's fresh and new to everything. It doesn't speak above anyone. It really truly is a very approachable book. So I think everybody will enjoy reading it through. We are working on getting it published with Amazon. Of course, we have to go with Amazon because we talk about Jeff Bezos all the time. So who else would we go with, right? I mean, come on. We've already given him like $3 billion, how many? $2 trillion worth of business. So, a little more. What the heck? Why not? So we're working on getting that all set up. And once we get the seminars up and rolling, we will more than likely have that all set up as well. And so it'll be ebooks.
Our website will be built, and we'll show it to you guys on Thursday evening, and we're going to do a walkthrough. So not market or advertise the seminar yet, but we're going to do a walkthrough for free for everybody who's already involved. That's part of our community, and you guys will be able to see what we're talking about, what we're presenting, and then go from there. And then early next week, we'll start having the seminars and bringing people into the Web3 space and getting them involved and be a part of it. So, and I'll explain to you guys on Thursday what our goal is to create. I think you guys will be pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll just tell people, if you didn't see the episode that we did last week talking about the marketing, please just email me at support@nexusecosystem.io. I can share the link to and it is on the YouTube station, the Nexus Ecosystem. And if you find that you are interested in partaking, I will be happy to send you the form. Just ask a few basic questions and we can go from there. And thank you to those who have signed up and, done your thing for that. Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Everybody have a great evening. Thank you for joining us. And hopefully, if you're new, you make the decision to join us in WeFi and get some ITOs and help be a part of driving this thing to 1 billion customers worldwide.
Absolutely. All right.
Thank you, everybody.
We'll see you Wednesday.
Yes.
We'll be here. We hope you will.